In a small, quiet town, a frail and lonely man named Clarence lived in a weathered house at the edge of the woods. Clarence was an unassuming figure with a stooped back, kind but sorrowful eyes, and a voice barely louder than a whisper. What set Clarence apart wasn't his appearance, but his attachment to an old tattered teddy bear named Theo, a relic from his childhood. Theo was more than a toy. He was Clarence's sole companion in a life shadowed by loss and solitude. One morning, as Clarence shuffled through the park near his home, Theo slipped from his grasp unnoticed. It wasn't until he reached his favorite bench and went to set Theo beside him that he realized his companion was gone. Panic seized him. Clarence retraced his steps, calling Theo's name under his breath, eyes scanning the ground. The town's children noticed Clarence's distress and whispered among themselves. To them, he was the strange man with the teddy bear, and their curiosity mingled with unease. Some pitied him. Others thought it odd for a grown man to care so deeply about a toy, but none dared approach him directly. That night, Clarence couldn't sleep. His home felt emptier than ever, the silence heavier without Theo's comforting presence. Dreams of losing the bear to the swirling dark plagued him. The next morning, he ventured out again, determined to find Theo. His search led him to the woods, where the trees stood tall and foreboding. Though Clarence feared the dark spaces between the trunks, the thought of Theo alone and scared drove him onward. The woods seemed alive, each rustle of leaves a whisper, each creak of branches a mocking laugh. Clarence called out softly, "Theo, where are you?" His voice echoed and disappeared into the vast unknown. Deeper into the woods, Clarence stumbled upon a clearing where a group of woodland creatures had gathered. In the center, Theo lay, slightly dirtied but intact. A curious raccoon poked at the bear, while a pair of birds chirped nearby. It was as though the forest had adopted the teddy bear. Clarence hesitated. For a moment, he saw Theo surrounded by life, as if the bear had found new companions. Tears welled in his eyes, and a small smile crept across his face. He knelt at the edge of the clearing, whispering, "Thank you for keeping him safe." The creatures scattered as Clarence approached. He picked up Theo, brushing off the dirt, and hugged him tightly. "Let's go home," he said, his voice cracking. As he walked back through the woods, the air felt lighter, the trees less menacing. Clarence realized something profound. While Theo would always be his anchor to the past, the kindness and connection he sought could still be found in the world around him, if he was willing to look for it. From that day on, Clarence made an effort to leave his isolation behind. He visited the park daily, not just with Theo, but with an open heart. Over time, the children grew bolder, approaching him with questions about the bear. Clarence shared stories of his childhood, and in return, the children shared their laughter and companionship. Though Clarence's life remained simple, he was no longer alone. And Theo, worn but beloved, was a silent witness to the man's quiet transformation.